If you love your locks, do not make these mistakes. Hey Loc Babes, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen, your loctician bestie, wife, and mama of twins. Here on my channel, we dive into all things locks, beauty, and lifestyle, sprinkled in with some tips, laughs, and a whole lot of lock love. So whether you're here to learn or just for the vibes, you're definitely in the right place. So as we continue on our mini-series titled Unpopular Loc Opinions, and today's topic, we're going to discuss, if you do this to your locks, you will regret it. Trust me, you will regret it. Okay, so let's hop into it. Let's dive into it. Let's get into it. And let's talk about the things that you will regret doing to your locks if you choose to do them. So first up, we're going to have over manipulating styles. I know I speak about this pretty regularly on my channel, and I will continue to do so until there is no more breath in my body. Over manipulating styles will 100% damage your locks. I don't care how cute, how dope, how fire, how fly a style is. If you were doing it too many times and you were doing it too tight, you will certainly damage your locks. Okay, so you want to slow down on the styles and you want to actually look for low tension styles. Over manipulating styles will cause your locks at the root to thin and to weaken and to pop off. You don't want that, okay? So relax on the styles. Yes, some of these styles are beautiful. And if you're having like a birthday or you have an event you're going to, I definitely recommend that you try a style out. You know, styles are great. Styles can build your confidence. It can make you feel better. And it can also show you a different way to wear your locks. But having a style every single time that you get your hair done is too much, especially if it is an intricate and a tight style. You want to relax on over manipulating your styles and over retwisting and over retightening. Okay, you do not need to do too much. Locks are free. Locks are an expression of yourself, and locks are supposed to be healthy. They're not supposed to be in these tight, headache looking styles. Like, my scalp hurts looking at some of these styles. Next up, using the wrong and too much of products. Having a heavy hand when doing locks is a nightmare. You're going to have buildup, you're going to have flakes and residue, you're going to have gray and sickly looking locks. Like, too much and the wrong products are just not a good idea. So please avoid heavy waxes and heavy creams because it is going to give you a long-term nightmare. You're going to have buildup. You're going to have all these debris and things that are going inside of your lock. Ugh, it's just a nightmare. So please avoid those. Next up, we have skipping moisturizing your locks. I don't get it. Anything that is alive in this world needs water and it needs to be hydrated. Period. It doesn't matter what it is. For it to stay alive and for it to sustain itself, it needs water. Our hair is the same exact way, right? I know I said before, consider your hair as a plant. In order for plants to grow, they need some type of routine and they absolutely need water. So you want to make sure that you are not skipping out on the moisture. I definitely recommend making a moisture routine. If you have to spritz your hair throughout the day, when you wake up, do that. If you prefer to spritz your hair at night before you go to bed, just make sure it's dry and you're not like creating like an enclosed damp environment with your bonnet on when you sleep. Don't do that. But moisturize your hair when you can, and when not, please don't wait until it feels brittle and dry, because dry hair and brittle hair equals weak locks and it equals breakage. Okay, your locks should be pliable. If you're in the starter stage, they'll still have some give. My locks are mature, so they're going to just be straight. But your locks should be, they shouldn't feel like sandpaper. okay? They shouldn't feel like I'm gonna touch your hair and it's gonna turn to dust. It should be bendable. It should just be, they don't need to be butter soft because they're locks, but they do need to be well moisturized. And remember that water moisturizes and oil seals. So adding oil on top of dry locks will not moisturize your hair. Adding water only to your hair, the water's gonna suck right out. You wanna put the water in and you wanna close the water up so your locks have time to gather in all the moisture that you put in. Okay, so please, please, please do not skip on moisturizing your locks. They need it. If you want them, they need it. All right, and last but not least, if you do this to your locks, you will regret it. Over detoxing your locks. I know that we are in an era where everyone's getting their locks detoxed, and there's nothing wrong with detoxing. I actually recommend you detox maybe once or twice a year. You do not need to detox your hair every month. There's nothing that you can be doing to your head that your hair needs a full detox every month. And I'm talking about apple cider vinegar. I'm talking about baking soda. I'm talking about sitting your head in the whole thing and doing a whole detox treatment every month. It's unnecessary. You don't need that. What you're doing is you're stripping your locks to the bare minimum. You're creating weak locks by over detoxing. Yes, your locks may feel free, your scalp may feel great and clean and all these type of things, but to scrub your hair this clean every month is completely unnecessary and you want to stay away from it. Over time, those detoxes will 100% weaken your locks. Okay, so it's less about detoxing more and more about what is your routine. How are you keeping your hair clean? What are you doing? If you detox your hair this month, what's happening after you detox it? Are you detoxing and then putting globs of wax and beeswax to lock your hair, to retwist? Are you detoxing your hair and putting your whole head just filled with castor oil? So you have to think, after you detox, what is your routine, right? Are you moisturizing? Are you using a light oil? Are you wearing your bonnet? Are you having your hair covered when you're in situations with lint? Are you washing your hair regularly? What are you doing to prevent having to detox it so many times? Because again, too much detoxes will absolutely weaken your locks. So yeah, I ended up getting a super important phone call that I absolutely needed to take. So I ended up continuing to film this video later in the evening. I didn't continue the continuity of just rehashing the things to regret. I jumped right into my biggest regret with the story time. So enjoy. Also, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. So you guys know that your nephew has to have a cameo in all of my videos. Anyway, if you guys have any biggest lock regrets, definitely share them down below. I'll share mine with you. So my second set of micro locks, I would insert a picture here. They were beautiful. I dyed my hair red. I installed the locks. I installed the locks. A year later, I dyed them red. And they were beautiful. They were super small. I loved them. They were just a vibe. Midnight! Anyway, so I was feeling myself. So we went to Mexico and I had a swim cap. So the whole time in Mexico, I'm wearing my swim cap in the beach. I was wearing my swim cap at the pool. And I was even wearing my swim cap at the beach. And you know, salt water, if you didn't know, salt water is actually good for your locks. It will promote locking because it will help your hair like mat together. Anyway, salt water is good for your hair. But I was just like, I just recently dyed my hair red. I don't want salt water or the chlorine to dry out my locks and make them feel brittle. I want to say by day 3 or 4, guys, I was over that swim cap. It wasn't a good one. I felt like it was tight to my brain. It started to give me migraines. And I'm just like, I should have invested money in a really good one. So if you guys know any really good swim caps, please leave that down below, specifically for locks or large hair. I think that's some knowledge that we all need to share with each other. But I was just sick of it. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wear this swim cap anymore. Every time I come back in a room, I would just braid and band my hair back because I'm just like, I don't I don't have time for this. My locks weren't fully matured either. So it was just so many things that I regret doing. But I was my own guinea pig. I'm not afraid of a scissors. So had I messed it up, I would have just cut it off or whatever. So I spent the next, there were 7 days. I spent the next 4 days, right? Yes, I spent the next 4 days going in the pool and in the ocean, swimming my life away with no regrets, no regrets. And if you know, you know. And by the time I got home, my locks felt like straw. Excuse me. I can't even, I wish I could tell you and you could feel it through this video. My locks felt like tumbleweed. They were gross. You could hear it. When I rolled my hand in my hair, you can hear it. They were just weak. They felt like rubber and straw at the same time. And I cried a long tear. Not only that, I also came back from Mexico with COVID. So I was super sick. My locks were ruined. And I just cried alone in a basement. And I combed them out. So my biggest regret is A, dyeing my hair so soon. I know better than that. I just really wanted the color because I wanted to look like a fly little mamacita in Mexico. And 2, I should have invested in a really good swim cap so I wouldn't have had the urge to take that one off, because although it was tight on my head and giving me a migraine, it was working. Also, 3, I should have invested in a sun hat, because it wasn't only the chlorine water and the beach water, it was the sun. The sun dried my hair to shambles. So that was also a culprit in drying out my locks and making them feel the way they did. So I combed them out. It took me like a day, 2 days, because I was just like, I was torn to pieces. I deep conditioned my hair. I loved about my hair. I was super sad. I dyed my hair darker because I was just like, now I look like Ronald McDonald out here. And I actually installed a new set of locks that same week, like within the next few days. So I don't have that set anymore either. But this, like I said, is my final set. What I assume would be my final set of micro locks. But anyway, that is my biggest regret. Because had I not, I would have been 3 years locked now. And I would have had some hang time. Of course, the red would have gone out, but I would have had like dark roots. It probably would have been like a little ombre reddish situation towards the end if I didn't cover it up. And I would have loved them. They were so small. They were beautiful. I spent my time making sure I was very meticulous. I was like my own client. My clients, I spend time to make sure everything is just so. But when I put my own locks in, I'm just like, this is straight, next lock. This is straight, next lock. So that was my most proudest set of locks, and they were beautiful. But now, fast forwarding to now, and this set, I probably had like 400 and something locks then. I still didn't do my lock count. I think I have closer to 300. I'm going to do a lock count in an upcoming video. But now I'm just like, you know what? I don't know if I would want to do 400 and something locks on my own head. Because my clients, they come, they're in and they're out. Me, I'm just like, I do some today, I do some tomorrow, I do some another day, I do some, like, I just don't have time. So anyway, guys, so that is my biggest lock regret. And again, if you have any, or if you want to share your biggest lock regret, if you have any, or you've heard of any horror stories, definitely leave them down in the comments below. I think we can all share and we could all learn from either our own mistakes, each other's mistakes, or other people's mistakes. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I will catch you in the next one. Later.